Yes, everybody, listen. What on earth is going on in this world? Because when Big Pharma bosses buy fake job passes while pushing us to take this stuff, when terrorists in Nigeria start making press conference out loud in the public in front of everybody without any fear of a prosecution, like they're running a PR agency, when women have to beg to be safe in their own locker room closets while feminism or feminists are silenced. That's the world we're in today. When pastors are birthing people in church in front of everybody, what on earth is going on earth today? When a skincare spray is named after a spiritual water entity, it makes you wonder what's going on really. And when even talking to someone of another faith can get you threatened, even get you burned and threatened with arrest. The world is going mad. The world is going mad. So I'm really wondering, am I crazy or is the world actually upside down? The question I ask myself in the preparation of this show. And this is really, my opinion is like, this is the world we are living in today, where if you have enough money, you can just buy yourself. You can buy yourself. If you have enough money or power, you can buy anything. You think you can just quietly buy your way out of an evil situation. And by that, you just save yourself, you save your family members, and you don't care about anyone else, thinking that evil will bow its knees when it comes on your door because of how much money or power you have. Tonight, we're just diving deep into this story. So stay with me because we're going to go story by story, allegedly or not, allegation by allegation, with questions, with recepts, and with a whole lot of truth. And I want you guys to be part of this. I want you to think, to question, and to do your own research at the end of the show. Interact with us. Drop in the chat what you think. Let us know if this is something that interests you or interests your curiosity. So tonight we're not doing our 30-second, 40-second countdown because we started late. But if you guys need a minute, just take a moment right now to just invite somebody, and I will just be here on this, or just be here with you guys, just watching you as you do that. Maybe I'll just play an instrumental. We're just giving you a few moments. We're not playing any second. I might even give you a 10-second, 20-second. I don't know. Just while waiting for you to invite somebody. So please invite somebody, and I'll just be here. You don't want this person to miss the show of tonight for sure. Just share the link, with somebody. Let them know we are here to stay. We're not going nowhere. Come on. Yes. What's it here? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, how come I can't see the chat on the screen? Can you fix that? On top there, on the live. What's up, Rick? Welcome, brother. We happy to see you joining us. Yeah, just bring it back on your screen on the left, all the way left. On the left. We're gonna have a great time tonight. Okay. We're going to dive into the show today in the first segment, so let's just get started. I hope you took a moment to grab your coffee, to grab your drink, to just get ready to position yourself, because we are about to dive deep into the stories of tonight. We're going to start with this headline that says it's concerning the Big Pharma bosses, because Big Pharma boss and the 2,500 others in a high position in our society. So think about famous people. Think about people who are supposed to be your government representative, people who were positioned to represent your values. They paid to have a fake jab, COVID-19 jab passport to be able to do everything they wanted to do. And that really just begged the whole big question. Maybe they didn't want to DIE like many did. Suddenly, like those useless eaters did. They call them actually the sleep hole, but it was definitely safe and effective. So all the sleep hole just took it. They just consumed this stuff without any questions. There are people that I know, as I shared on the previous show on Wednesday, who took the jab because they said they wanted to have their life back. While those who are pushing this agenda, those who are promoting it, those who are kind of selling it to you on a silver platter with the cherry on top, they were not taking it. They were injecting themselves in some cases with the salt water. It doesn't make sense, does it? You tell me. And listen, elite and big pharma's executives paid to appear jabbed up in the registers without ever taking the jab. While you and I had to be locked in, you and I had to be masked up, whatever we had to do. Remember when they were telling you, if you don't take the jab, you are being egocentric because you have to think about your neighbor. You have to think about those who are vulnerable, who might come in contact with you. It is the first time in the history of medicine where they were manipulating you that you should take medication for the sake of somebody that you might meet around on the way. It doesn't make sense. And the most thing that doesn't make sense is how people took it. Because for those, if you took the jab, it was one of the craziest orchestrated manipulation tactic that was ever put in place. So I understand if you fall prey of this manipulation, because for some people, like I don't want to lose my job. For some others, it was like, this is my livelihood. I need to be able to travel. I need to be able to do those things. So you took it for that reason. But then it still begs a question, really. How easy it is for you to believe them when they say jump. So the UK MP, Andrew Bridgen, and the other whistleblowers have publicly stated, they have publicly alleged that certain high-profile individuals avoided taking the COVID-19 jab while ensuring their names appear in the official vaccine registry of registries. If true, this is vaccine certificate fraud and shows a double standard for real, which we all knew was there anyhow, so I don't even know why we're wasting our breath. But we have to talk about it for those who think that we might have been like in Dutch, you say, just talking out of your neck. One rule for the public, another rule for the elites. One rule for thee, another for thou. So independent journalists have reported. Did I miss a video on this? Oh yeah, I completely missed a video. I'm so sorry about that. I think we're supposed to start with the video on this one. So let's just cue that video so we can give our viewers a context, because I really completely missed that video.
Reveals that elites and big pharma executives faked taking the mRNA shots, paying to appear on vaccination registers while never actually taking the jab. Watch this.
In Spain, apparently there was an investigation by the federal police, and they caught a bunch of people in, I guess what would be like a vaccine passport sting. This is a shocking headline. It's really incredible. Listen to this. Big Pharma boss caught faking his COVID vaccination status, injected himself with salt water, instead now facing criminal charges. It says police have charged Jose Maria Fernandez Sosa Faro, the president of European pharmaceutical behemoth Pharma Mar, with being falsely vaccinated against COVID-19. Dr. Sosa Farrar is embroiled in a European controversy involving individuals, many of whom are well-known figures, being added to the National Immune Registry in exchange for large sums of money. Dr. Sosa Farrar is among more than 2,200 celebrities and European elites on a list drawn up by the national police of those falsely vaccinated against COVID. According to El Mundo, that's the newspaper reporting, Spanish police carried out the investigation called Operation Jenner, which uncovered the vast network of celebrities and elites who have paid money to have their names fraudulently entered on the National Immunization Register, despite refusing to be vaccinated. And it says here, this is the kicker. According to the police who are investigating the 2,200 false COVID-19 vaccination certificates, the fee was dependent on your social standing. The more important you were, the higher the price you paid. You got to wonder if that's going on in other countries, like the United States.
Yeah, I mean, how many professional athletes, had a doctor squirt a vaccine into a trash can? How many people in power? I've even heard inside sources, inside CDC, FDA, saying that, they're cheating in here. Now, here you have a guy that works in the pharmaceutical industry, so he should know, if anyone's going to know what's going on there, and this guy's paying a fortune in order to keep from putting this thing in his body.
There you have it. This is the world we are living in today. A lot of manipulation, deception, completely being sold to you. And the funny enough is that people who dare to question these decisions by so-called experts, by so-called big farmers, you going to be labeled as what? Conspiracy theorists. Big Pharma caught. They were caught in these allegations. Obviously, they are innocent until proven guilty, but both of you and I know what's happening here, okay? I think we know really what's going on here. And listen, view, our special viewer, if the product, it was so safe, why, ask yourself a question, why will the people closest to the data avoid it so much? Why will they stay away from taking this stuff? We cannot just be oblivious about these things and act as though those who are questioning them are just conspiracy theorists. They spend too much time on the internet. Call them whatever you want to call them. So I know some of you have questions. I know some of you took time to really ask this question, but because they were never proved, there were no evidence in front of you, you just dismissed it. So, oh my God, I encourage you to look into it. Don't just take it on fast value, what I'm saying. Really. Because were you treated like a human being or like just a test subject, like many were, especially those in the elderly houses, allegedly? How many of your decisions in 2020 to 2022 were based on trust? And how many of that trust has now been shattered? I can tell you, for me, when you come to me with this idea of this is an expert, this is an with this and that, yeah, I'm going to tell you where to put it. Let's play this next video.
In Spain, apparently there was an investigation by the federal police, and they caught a bunch of people in, I guess, what would be like a vaccine passport sting. This is a shocking headline. It's really incredible. Listen to this. Big Pharma boss caught faking his COVID vaccination status, injected himself with salt water, instead now facing criminal charges. It says police have charged Jose Maria Fernandez Sosa Faro, the president of European pharmaceutical behemoth Pharma Mar, with being falsely vaccinated against COVID-19. Dr. Sosa Farrar is embroiled in a European controversy involving individuals, many of whom are well-known figures, being added to the National Immune Registry in exchange for large sums of money. Dr. Sosa Farrar is among more than 2,200 celebrities and European elites on the list drawn up by the national police.
This begs your question. Do you even trust now the medical system? Do you trust the jab? Do you Today we have children, before they can even breathe a different air than that of in the hospitals, they have already been injected with so many needles that you're just gonna, let me tell you, if the doctor will ever paint a picture, let me say this way, if they will ever put on the table all the needles or how many times needles are being used to inject stuff in your child's body, you will cringe. You won't believe it. You'll be you wanna punch somebody in the nose, because it is crazy to think about how much we've been through, put our trust and livelihood into this so-called expert opinion. But then again, that's my thought, that's my opinion. I'm curious about what y'all think about all these findings. So my suggestion is this, really. Take time to research stuff. Doctors are advisor. Their word is not a final say. I dare to say this. This is really my personal opinion. Your doctor is an advisor. When he says something, he's advising you. It is not a final say. So don't take it at face value, and run with it as though it's the new Bible. So I say that, let's move on, because it's even get crazier. The next topics we're going to have here, it's going to paint a whole picture about deception and manipulation. And I'm telling you, from the government to the church today, the church has also become such an entity that we cannot recognize anymore. If the apostles of yesterday will come today, they look at the church where it is today, what are they going to say? What are people, how relevant are Christians in the society today? That's why they're being censored and nobody to speak up for them. And in this next video, man, just cue the next video, because I don't want to talk so much about it before our viewer take a look at it.
Multiple studies now, to be very clear, multiple studies now show that of the two, Moderna and Pfizer is definitely worse. Pfizer is worse for cardiovascular side effects related to blood clotting. Pfizer is worse for neurologic effects, and Pfizer is worse for serious adverse events overall. A few
Florida
studies have
Surgeon
shown
General,
that Pfizer
Dr. Joseph
may be associated with an increase in mortality also compared to Moderna. The vaccines, they are not the same. You've heard my opinion, Dr. Corey's, Dr. Walscogg's opinions about their use in general, but between the two of them, Pfizer is definitely worse. You've got probably more myocarditis cases with Moderna, but Pfizer is worse overall. So I apologize that it hasn't been clear. They shouldn't take them. They are products that should not be going into human beings. These products, they should not be used in any human beings. And there's some people who are trying to put them in animals too. And I think many of us wouldn't want to eat that food either, that meat.
My God. Keep that on the screen, please, for me. My God. This is a Florida Surgeon General, Dr. Joseph Ladapo. We can say Ladapo. Look it up for yourself and hear what he's saying. He comes out and says multiple studies now show that of the two mRNA, of course he's talking about, of the two, Moderna and Pfizer is definitely the worst. Pfizer is worse for cardiovascular side effects related to blood clotting. Blood clotting. Then you see people who were healthy all their life. I know a friend of mine, she was healthy like a dove. Okay, is dove healthy? She was healthy like an eagle. Studying for almost finishing her law degrees. Suddenly, out of nowhere, not doing any exercise, just sitting down and having a lunch, collapse. Few hours later in the hospital, she was declared gone. It doesn't make sense. And then doctors know what's going on, but they don't tell you the exact thing what's going on until people like this man here, Dr. Joseph, people like Dr. Joseph come and say, if he wasn't clear, should never put. Pfizer is worse for neurological effects, and Pfizer is worse for serious adverse events overall. They are products that should not be going into human being. This doctor said. You see, this doesn't make sense, right? Oh, many things don't. If these products are that bad for you and I, if these products are not good for you and I, why are these companies not being held accountable? How is that even possible? If you think about it, Sila. Those are the questions we need to ask ourselves. His best concerns are data from VERSE and others surveillance system that tracks, reports adverse events after vaccination. VERSE doesn't prove causation, but it does highlight patterns that should be investigated. You might say it doesn't prove causations in the form of but what he says is really for me enough to say this is enough cause for me to stay away from this nonsense. His statement triggered nationwide debate about vaccine safety and transparency, really, because they keep telling you these things are good. They tell you you cannot question so-called experts, and then you find out experts are cooking the books, manipulating facts, and they're making big bucks in the process, enriching themselves, becoming multimillionaires. And they don't care. They don't give a flying flip about what you think. You can die. You can be. People today are bedridden, shaking like a leaf. They cannot control nothing. But there's nothing, absolutely nothing you can do about it. How does it feel for you to hear a Surgeon General say that after millions of doses have already gone into people's arm? Isn't that a little too late? Or do we still have hope? If you had heard this in 2021, would your decision have been different? Seeing that they still deny you access to gym, access to public spaces, access to travels, and sometimes losing your job. Would you have made a different decision? I don't know. I hope you do know. Please let's check the next video. This is, just pause it for a moment. This is also when things get even a bit trickier, or things get a bit even spicier, but in a bit of a darker way, if you may. Because here we're talking about children, and a long-term study, often referred to as a 10-year study, tracked children from birth for a decade, comparing vaccinated and unvaccinated children. And what they came up with, what they found, is going to make you launch to the sky as a rocket. It's going to make you want to depart from this earth. Please go ahead.
Vaccination on short and long-term chronic health outcomes in children, a birth cohort study. I've never seen this study before.
18,468 subjects.
Henry Ford, like other institutions, has a bias towards the goodness of vaccines. If the results came back demonstrating that the battery of vaccines was associated with chronic diseases, such a result would be particularly convincing. This could be essentially one of the most valuable studies in the field.
The vaccinated subjects were over 4 times more likely to have an asthma diagnosis.
600% more acute and chronic ear infections.
4.47 times the amount of speech disorders in the vaccinated compared to the unvaccinated.
5.5 times risk.
616% increase. Learning issues, developmental delays, speech delays, language delays.
Amongst the unvaccinated group, there were 0.
There was 0 brain dysfunction, 0 diabetes, 0 behavioral problems, 0 learning disabilities, 0 intellectual disabilities, 0 tics, and 0 other psychological disabilities. None.
It's a big difference.
It's very important that the study sees the light of day.
This is devastating.
This paper should have been rushed to publication on an emergency basis.
We are systematically making kids sick, and not just a little bit sick, very sick.
This may be the most important study that has ever been done, and it needs to be published.
He knows if he puts his name on this, his career is over.
I mean, obviously, like, really emotional.
Zervo's probably going to lose his job over this.
So this is a study that is yet to be published. And I've been researching it, and there are many questions like, why is it not being published, this and this and that? And there are many speculations, of course. But to be honest with you, please don't put your hands up, but in your spirit, put your hands up if you think that everything they shared with us is something that you did not suspect. Because many of you and I out there already kind of asking this type of question. Maybe unconsciously, somewhere on the back of your hand, you're seeing around you how children are acting, diseases, how people are being sick and all those things. It begs the questions like, wait a minute, what's going on here? What's happening to the society? Because there are sicknesses we are learning today about that we don't even understand where they come from. We don't get it. And the most disturbing thing is how many people, parents, choose to just accept it for what it is. You go and see the doctor tells you, no, you cannot question me. I am the medical doctor, you aren't. But you forget to understand that you are a father, you are a mother, you are the parent. You have to protect that child even from those so-called experts coming after them. What do we have left in a society today if it is not our right to choose, to love, to care for those we love? I don't know. I'm just bringing this fact to you tonight, and I really hope that you will just look into it. Allegedly or not, published or unpublished, doesn't make it less of a truth. Because there are many reasons why many researches are not published. There are many reasons to it. I hope you're not one of those MSM lovers. So if it was not on the mainstream media, if they're not talking about it, that means it doesn't exist, it's not important. Let me tell you, often on the moment they decided to talk about it, is either they've been forced, either it's a political gain, or it's to debunk it, to rebuke it and to say it's not true. So, and often it's too little, too late. So don't wait until it's too little, too late. Be informed, be empowered, be enlightened so that you can be the city on the hill that cannot be hidden. This kind of studies are observational and controversial in many places. Critics argue it must be peer-reviewed, controlled for confounding factors and replicated. But the numbers, if accurate, raise serious questions really about long-term health impacts and the one-size-fits-all vaccine schedule that has been implemented massively without any repercussion whatsoever. They can go to India, they can go to Africa, they use people like piglets for their purposes. And then they just pay some wicked leaders, representative of the people, and they just leave them. They're not being followed. If the numbers are even close to truth, this is not a small mistake, guys. It doesn't even matter how much it is. One person is already too many. This is a generational damage, And the fact that we aren't even allowed to ask about this without being censored should just bring terror in your core. Should terrify you on the big level. Because we must ask questions. Or the moment we stop asking questions, that's when we lose everything we hold dear. Why were people banned, demonetized, and fired for even mentioning these concerns? If the science is so strong, why did they need censorship instead of open debate? You need to go and look up the study, check the methodology of it, see who found it, and compare it with other research. Please do that. At least now you know what questions to ask. At least now you understand where we come from. Because this is the fight for the future of our children. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is the fight for our right to be. I know shows like this are not always popular because we push you a little bit into out of your comfort zone. We're not a feel-good laughter show. Sometimes we go a little too deeper. But in the long run, you'll remember that you learn it on the Glory Today show. Anyway, now we move in our next segment. We're also dealing with terror in the way that is also a bit surprising to see what's going on in Nigeria. And in the next clip, you see a group of terrorists holding a press conference, and they're talking about if the government wants all this killing to come to an end, it will end, they say. If they don't want it to stop, it will continue. We are the ones who do everything and are the ones giving instructions. So everything that is happening, don't blame us terrorists, blame your government. They're telling you the government is supplying them. If the government want them to stop, they will stop. They're telling you this. The government is in a collusion with them. They're saying it. Some point they even say, you guys should stop calling us terrorists, because if you call us terrorists, then we're going to act like terrorists. It doesn't even make sense. Listen, if you expect the worst out of us, we're going to act the worst. So I'm like, my friend, nobody knew you. Nobody even cared about your existence. Your existence was even more meaningless than the rats inside the house hiding behind the closet. That's how meaningless you were until you start doing these killings. That's when people start talking about you. People did not label you a terrorist until you start doing atrocious things. It doesn't make sense. You first have to call me good before I can do good, because you keep thinking I'm bad, so I'm going to do bad. What? What's in the world? What's in the government? What's going on here? Please cue this next video because it's crazy. I'm sorry, I don't have a subscription for you. Subs.
Tunda an yi lokaci kamar wata ɗaya nan ko biyu in muka ce muna buƙatar ganin mutanen shirin ta yaya za mu gansu?
So just for those who speak the language, will tell me what he's saying, but just bring your volume down a little bit. Listen, not all the way. I'm going to translate for you in tongues. Bring it up. I'm going to do a translation. Rakatos Yaman Labroska. Yeah, so that's what he said. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said it's not our fault. If the government's called us terrorists, don't be surprised when we are terrorists. If we kill you, because you keep saying you are a terrorist, you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist. If you are looking at us, don't blame us. Blame your government and the people club. Listen, I looked up already. Somebody translated it who knows the language. Okay, so I'm not just joking about it. It's the truth what he's saying. If the government want all this killing to come to an end, summarizing it, it will end. If they don't want it to stop, it will continue. It will continue. We are the ones who do everything and are the ones giving instructions. So everything that is happening, don't blame us terrorists, blame your government. That's what he said. So this begs a question. First of all, Nigeria has been battling this type of group like a Boko Haram, like ISWAP, and the armed bandits for years. Human rights organizations and local media have local media, not the MSM, just the local. Some people with their phone sometime have documented cases where armed groups openly communicate via videos and statement, sometimes implying state complicity or failure. They come, the authorities, the government or the soldier, whatever they take, they retreat. They leave them to have their ways with the people. The idea that terrorists feel safe enough to hold press-style events shows how weak and a compromised state authority can become. Are they weak and compromised? Or they're compromised, definitely. But are they really weak or they're just so compromised? Well, one might beg to differ. A compromised person is a weak person. Compromised person is a weak person. So what's going on in Nigeria, really? I've been covering this for the last couple of weeks, so I watched up now. You know, Nigeria, how did we get here? That's the question many people are asking. How did we get here? Especially in the world today. When terrorists feel so comfortable that they can hold press meetings and shift the blame to the government, something is deeply, deeply broken. I remember what happened, in Israel, October 7th, the terrorists that were committing atrocity, they took their own time to live stream and post videos online of what they were doing. This world is definitely going to, it's going to revelations times. If we don't stand for good, we don't stand for truth, what is going to be left there to fight for? If the people doing the killing are telling you, don't blame us, blame your government, what does that say about who really holds power in these regions? How safe can ordinary people be when both the government and the terrorists are pointing fingers to each other? True or false, but it's happening. Nothing is happening. Terrorists are there. The Nigerian government has no capacity to crush these cockroaches? I mean, you tell me. Think about it. Sailor. Yep. And to you watching from outside Nigeria, do you really think your country is immune to this level of corruption or chaos? Because often they look at Africa, they say it's a third world country, and Africa is a continent, first of all. So, correction for that. Africa, you're watching the show, Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent. What is a continent, you ask? Multiple countries in one area, geographical area, like Africa, like Europe, like the United States of America. It's also supposed to be a continent. They turn it into a country. That's how they are. They consider themselves the powerful nation, the powerful country in the world. Why? Because they are different. America is a continent. That's what I meant. The United States is their government structure. So, yeah. Thank you for hitting me up. Without correction, production, you guys are on point. Let me just make sure my phone is muted because I'm start receiving some messages for people watching the show. They're like, what's happening? So, guys, listen. What's happening is that the world is going to chips. That's what's happening. At some point, we have to stop calling this just bad governance for real. And start calling it for what it is. A betrayal of the people. Because most of these people in the government were also civilians before. And then they were voted in power by you because they promise you they'll build you a house, a highway, they put a water pump, I don't know what. Then they get there, they got corrupted by money because money has that influence on many people. Money is a tool that the enemy uses to steal you from anything that is common sense. If the people doing the killing are telling you, don't blame us, blame your government, what does that say about your government, really? How can the government defend themselves against that? Except they're just trying to tell President Trump to not send a troop to Nigeria to go and defend Christians that are being completely obliterated. They're being destroyed. Why? Christians are calling for help. The government is not coming. Another nation on the other side of the ocean is responding to them, and the government is like, don't do it. Trying to stop him. Craziness. Really, it's crazy. But anyway, let's just move on out of this story because I don't want to dwell here too long. I've given you the fact. Please look into it. Take time to research this stuff because this stuff are crazy. Now we're moving to the craziest story of tonight. A woman's locker room invaded by another person. Let's say that way. Okay, let's cue this next video.
First of all, you're in great shape. Okay, let me just say that. I was like, okay, Tish got it going on. But you say you've dealt with this before. So is this just something people are supposed to expect in Gold's Gym or any gym, that you could have a man who says they're trans in a woman's locker room?
Yes, right now women all across America are unprotected from being harassed, sexually assaulted, and whatever in women's private spaces like locker rooms and massage places that should be women's only. Men can say they identify and they're a woman, and that's all it takes. Open sesame.
You get it? That's the day and age we're living in. And the most craziest thing about all this, most people that are fighting against her, that are pushing her away, are women themselves, trying to silence her from speaking against what just happened to her. Oh, Gloria, how do you know about what's happening to her? You wait. Take a chill pill. I will introduce her to you. Because listen, your body and your privacy, they go hand in hand. At a Los Angeles woman, a woman at Gold Gym, the name of the place what she's talking about is the Gold Gym, a man walked into the woman's locker room, and this lady was naked, vulnerable, as a biological male, identifies himself as a woman, followed her in or walked in while she was exposed. She confronted him and asked, how can you say, she waited actually for him to go outside, and then she confronted him. She asked, how can you say you are a woman but don't care how women feel about this issue? So as she confronted him, nobody else came to her defense. No other woman stood up and said, no, this is not right. We don't want men in the women's locker room. But guess what? Only a man came to defend her. Where were the feminists? It seems like this is a theme for the season. People are asking questions. Where are the BLM? Where are the feminists? Where are all these people? Where is Greta Thunberg or the Greater Confusion? Where are they all? This nonsense. Nowhere to be found. Because George Soros, who paid for them, is not paying the ticket anymore because it doesn't fit its narrative. When she confronted the person, things become crazy to the point where her gym pass was revoked. She was banned from ever going to that gym anymore. Not the men who went in the women's locker room, but she was banned, and she demands answers. The incident reignited the debate over transgender access to women-only spaces, especially in the States, like in California, with strong gender identity protections. And here, to be honest with you, here in Europe as well, let's just be frank about it. The only problem about Europeans, sometimes they're brain dead. I'm telling you. Europeans, sometimes they're just so how do you say that word? They're so hypocrites. They're so hypocrites to a point where they are suffering on the inside. They go home, they cry themselves to sleep. When they go outside, they put a smile. It's like, hey, it's so good to see you. Crazy. You see, I say Europe. I did not name any country specific. So don't come and say, yeah, but we are in our country. We're very direct people. Be that as it may. You are not standing up for women who are being abused in their local rooms. There's this story about, I didn't prepare it. It's a story about a situation that happened in the US. A man who was arrested because of rape. He raped a woman and was arrested and was going to be thrown into jail. But then he decided to tell the judge he does identify as a woman. So the judge decided to put him in a women-only prison. Guess what happened? When you take a hyena, you put them in the farmhouse with the chickens and the rabbits. You ended up impregnating a number of women in there. These things are real. These things are happening. I'm telling you. Why are feminists not standing up for women's space? What happened to protecting women? You people have been crying for years for women's rights, women's rights, women's rights. Is this what feminism got y'all? And I'm saying this to all the ladies. Is this what the feminists got y'all, got for y'all? Is this what you've been fighting for years? Only men stood up for that lady. Men only. Not even a woman shared a word. Just think about how insane that is. They're telling you, feminists are telling you, you don't need men, fight against men, push the men away, men and this, men are that. But when it comes down to it, you need men to fight your battles. How does that even make sense? Check this video out. It's going to bring questions to your mind.
How are you? Did you tell me or not that women like to see dick?
I'm asking you a fucking question.
Exactly. Exactly. Get out of the way. No. Now he knows how to be a man.
Pause it for a minute.
Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's.
You see, that's a woman. That's a woman that we are defending to be allowed into a locker room. Oh my goodness! I wish I did prepare this story because it's a story that I really look into concerning this particular case. And let me see, maybe in the process I'll find it, because what has happened is that this dude, he just came from a relationship with a woman whereby he was allegedly aggressive. He was in prison. So the mere fact that he decided to transition was after coming out of jail. And he took the name of the woman that he went to prison for abusing.
This one?
This guy here. So I'm going to look up that story because I just want to bring to you Tisha? Yes. I don't want to just bring this story up to you. Let me just look it up. But please cue that video because pay attention. Just play it from the beginning. Pay attention who's going to defend that lady that she's filming this. Is a man.
How are you? Did you tell me or not that women like to see dick?
I'm asking you a fucking question.
Exactly. Exactly. Get out of the way. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that shit.
But how's
and the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay. I understand. I'm not causing.
By the way, I'm gonna play I'm gonna play this video on my on the computer, by the way. Just make sure you're prepared, because I want to show you this story, because this story just went buzzing online like crazy. Just before you put it on, give me a minute, because there's a piece I was looking for. Oh my God, this is a very interesting one. No, the story about him. No, it's not the one. The story about him. What is going on in this world? Let me see. Guys, because this story, we need to really just take time and analyze it on the deeper level. Just put my screen on. Just let people see what I'm looking at, because I want people to understand that this story is important for us to talk about. We're talking about women's rights. We're talking about the right for women to feel safe. So you cannot be fighting for years for women's rights, and then suddenly a man comes and shows up and say, I feel like a woman, and all the right that you've been fighting for women just flies out of the window. This is crazy. This is the man in question, the woman in question, forgive me. So there's a video of that I want to show of Trish. This is a very interesting story as well. Women speak out, this is wrong and it must stop. So guess what's in this story? Also, there's another story. Guess who fought against this lady? Just put the volume up and I want to play this. Oh yeah, wait a minute. Okay, I need to turn the music out. Just get my screen off for a minute. Give me a chance to fix this for y'all, because I guess we are still enjoying some amazing songs in the background. Hallelujah. Interesting. Okay, let's go. Check this out.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm trans male.
Okay, well.
Imagine you go in the bathroom and then you come across somebody looking, nothing against the person, really. This is literally just about the reality. You go into the bathroom, you come out, and somebody's standing in front of you like they are auditioning for a movie about Halloween. And then this woman, she said, listen.
Okay, so you're a girl, because I felt very uncomfortable. Okay, you're a male in the girls' bathroom?
I mean, I'm born female.
No, it's not okay. There's little girls in there.
No.
Don't tell me no. I have First Amendment rights. Unbelievable.
I don't mind talking to people.
There's all little... So I was at Barnes & Noble a little while ago, and I was in the bathroom, and I came out of the stall, and this dude's in there putting on his lipstick, and I got scared. My heart sunk. And so I left the bathroom, waited for him to come out, and as you can see in the video, I questioned him. I'm like, I still don't know to this day. Is that a chick? A dude? I don't even know. But the fact is that if I felt nervous as a grown adult woman, I can't even imagine what a little girl would feel like. So you know what, guys? I have nothing against these people. Let them live their life. But you know what? You should not let your kids, your girls in the bathrooms alone. I think there's a reason that these people don't go into the men's bathroom, because I don't know. What do you think would happen to them if they went into the men's bathroom? But what's more concerning about this video is this woman who came not to my rescue, me, the woman whose rights were violated in my own bathroom that said women, but she came to his rescue, rubbing his arm, telling me to stop and telling him it's okay. It's not okay. We need to do something about this bathroom situation. It's not okay.
It is not okay. So let me just share another story now for our beloved Tish. What has happened? Because now she's trending online all over the place because of the stand that she took. And I just want to share you the story that she shared herself from, is it the one? You know, this one. Let me just show you this one. Because this one, she went to
probably happening at gyms across America.
Yeah.
I just had the worst experience ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and I think this is probably happening at gyms across.
And mind you, she's part of the alphabetic groups, right?
Across America, we're like, trans women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it. And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a fuck how women feel? Today I was naked.
Language is a bit off, but then again, just pay attention to if children. This is a warning about the language, use of bad language. No, I don't know how to say this.
In the locker room, I turn around and there's a man there. In boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm butt naked. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed the sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't fucking talk to me. I'm a woman. I have a right to be in here. Immediately, I'm fucking pissed because I'm butt naked. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the fuck is going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a fuck about how women feel.
Wait. Okay, we do care about how women feel, okay? As men, as a real man.
I'd like to think. And I get it, like, everybody has their own things, and I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever their sexual orientation is or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic and I'm not homophobic. I'm not straightophobic. I'm not racist. None of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated.
Well, listen. All these things she's saying, you see, it's like you can never have a normal conversation about this issue. You can never even express how you feel, how you're offended, without even putting a huge list of disclaimers out there. What kind of phobia? Listen, I can disagree with you. I don't have to like your lifestyle, but doesn't necessarily mean I have a phobia. Phobia for what? I fear nobody. Well, I fear God. But for the rest, I have no fear for nobody. Islamophobia, transphobic, cat phobia, breathing phobia, standing phobia. Now we have a phobia for everything. Eating phobia. Actually, there's a phobia for eating. Actually, that's a thing. But what world are we in? What world are we in?
Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off your penis, you can come in here?
Oh boy. Okay, language guy. So you know, I'm warning you. I'm warning you.
Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to fucking be safe and feel good, why don't we just make trans restrooms? Because it ain't right. The way I feel right now.
Because the point is not for them having a separate restroom. The point is for them safely entering into the space that is not designated for them. And I really think not all of them, or let's just say not all of them, but I think there are those who just feed in getting other people freaked out of their mind. Not only you call yourself a woman, secondly, not only you have beard, but on top of it, you wear bright clothing with the big ass shoes as if you're an astronaut. And secondly, you put a cat ears to just prove how alien you are. It doesn't make sense. Even Stevie Wonder can say that this is demonic. I'm so sorry.
And don't come into my comments about he gay, he ain't looking at you. I don't give a fuck, bro. It's about a feeling, yo. Like, if you never been a little girl who been touched or been through some shit, you won't understand that feeling. And you've never been a little girl.
Yep. She said it. You see, there are people who are hurt about these situations, and we cannot just keep denying its existence as though it never happened. So now there's this conversation she had with this, and I think we just I know we have this video in production, but I think we're just gonna play it here because I think it's good for us to just continue for a little bit, because she was confronting Senator Scott Wiener. Scott Wiener, a peculiar name. So, and excuse me. Yeah, we have the video, but I'm going to just play it here for a minute because the video cut 08. And so we'll just skip it. And I'll just play it here because I also have it in front of me. I can see it already, if you don't mind, production. So this is not just politics anymore. This is a woman's trauma being dismissed totally in real time. It is so crazy to understand how feminism that cannot protect a crying, humiliated woman in a locker room. Do you still consider that being a feminist? Or do you still consider that movement be a feminist? If a feminist cannot stand up for a woman who's being humiliated, who's crying, who's being pushed out of their space, are you a feminist? Or are you just some idiotic group of people calling yourself a movement? It's ideology gone mad. That's what I call it. Feminism today is not anymore. That's what they acquired. If you're a lady watching this show, just drop a comment and let us know what you feel about all this thing, because I'm a man talking about it and I'm so upset as a man. But it almost feels out of place if women are okay with it. If you're watching the show and you're a woman, you feel like, Glory, you're just yapping around here. There's nothing wrong with what's going on. She's just overreacting. Let me know. Then I'll just shut up and I'll never bring it up again. Listen to her interaction with Senator Scott Wiener.
As the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question, because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay. As a lesbian woman who was attacked in a woman's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance?
Let me do this. Keyword, documented history of sexual violence against a woman, by the way, that he was in a relationship with, and now claiming to be a woman?
Their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir. Please tell me.
What?
Yeah. So we want, everyone to be safe, and we also know that we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women, and so.
You see her head. She's already like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about women here. I'm not talking about ideology, those who think or feel to be this. I'm talking about real woman here. She's part of the alphabetic mafia group.
So if you're trans women are women.
Senator, you've done great things with the bills you've passed with the housing. I've read a lot of your bills, and like you said, there are bills that need to be opened up, and I'm telling you now, millions of women across America are being harassed and sexually assaulted in locker rooms. I'm a lesbian black woman. I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic. And I do respect a lot of the things you've done. But I do see a lot of these bills that you've passed that are dangerous for women and young children. And I understand that you're trying to be on a level playing field. And I'm here to represent my community, because I hear a lot of things about my community in these bills. And I'm telling you as a woman, first and foremost, that this is dangerous, and we need your help, because you're in the office, you're going to go in the Polisky spot. I want to support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now, and we want to know, are you going to protect women? Not trans women, women. Trans women are different things. Women.
You see, now this is a part where it gets crazy, guys. This is a part where it just gets crazy, because somebody in the audience, a man, even stood up to tell a woman to shut up talking about trans women because he disagrees. She's not dismissing that trans women exist. She's saying, why should trans women's right of existing trump over real women? And this idiotic idea of saying a trans woman is a real woman, it is not even accepted by the alphabetic group people. Some of them, they say that's not true. Even some of these trans women, they tell you, I'm not a woman. I am a trans man who's transitioned to a woman. I'm not a woman. That's why you have the word trans. Hello? Common sense. If it was a real woman, why put the word trans in front of it? Think about it for a minute. you put trans to be able to identify that there's a transition between one being into another, or at least an idea, because some of them, they don't even go through the whole process. It's just they look of what lifestyle is most comfortable, it's most, how can I say, profitable for them.
Listen, we need to protect.
So here she's like addressing somebody in the audience trying to confront her. But she's a bulldozer, so she's not going to let it go.
We need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted.
Women are women.
I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic, and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in. But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm a lesbian, and I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
Let's let him answer the question.
I'm just telling you, since y'all want to woo.
No, just let's.
Now I'm done. And by the way, I respect what you have done. I just want to let you know that.
Let's give the senator the opportunity.
I'm done.
I appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry that you were harassed,
Multiple times.
and I appreciate you talking about it. I think we need to protect the safety of all women, and that obviously that's incredibly important. And I also know that trans women are also brutalized in this country. So women and cisgender women are brutalized in this country.
Cisgender women.
And we have to protect the safety of all women.
We have to protect women. We cannot be raped in the bathrooms by men that want to say they're women. They're not women. They're not women. I'm leaving. It's okay, but I'm not going to take it. I am leaving because you know what? You guys are not protecting women. You're doing a lot. The bills that you're passing for the law, I read a lot of them. They're great. But this things with the trans, it's not right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there you have it. So I think we need to have this tough conversation on certain level, because just avoiding this, man, you ever call me a cis man, you find what a cis is, because it's going to end up in your nose. I'm telling you. What are you calling a man a cis man? What the heck is wrong with you? Man, I think we understood why I wanted to show you guys the story about this dude that was found in the locker room. But anyway, let's just move on from this story. I've given you all the facts. Look into it. The questions we may ask on this one: where are the women's rights activists or organizations right now on this issue? Why did men have to step into protecting her, into protection, have to step into it to stand for her? Why a man? For you think you don't need men in the society. While many feminist voices stay silent or attacked her, defended by men. Isn't that an irony right there? Is this real? Is this a real reality of the equality feminists were proud of fighting for and promised women? This is a question you need to ask yourself. And I'll leave it there. And let's move on in our interesting segment toward the end of the show, I believe. Oh, I hope. Oh, no. We still have... okay. Our second last segment. Let me just say that. And this segment is so peculiar as well. And we're going to Africa. All my African people, report to the dance floor. Listen, y'all. You need to... This story, I saw it and I was ticked off. I was, how'd you say? I was, crushed my paw. I was just baffled. Who say that? I was completely taken by surprise. This is a Ghanaian pastor who, as we zoom in, this story is a Ghanaian pastor bathing his members in the church for easy deliverance of the Holy Spirit. So for them to have, and it's so interesting. Ladies, Wagwan, how is it possible that mostly people that fall for this stuff are women? The majority of it. Either is a pastor in South Africa telling women to eat grass, people to eat grass in his church, and then people running outside eating grass, and in the rest of the month to come or weeks to come, you spend your time in the hospital because you're having problem in your stomach. Or another pastor who telling his member to drink diesel. And you're doing it? But it's not only in Africa, mind you, because if I'll show you another story of here in Europe, of they say Orthodox, have to look into it, but it's an Orthodox group of people who had one of their scents, his foot that was mummified. You can see a foot already rotten, a foot. They will wash it with water. I'm talking about a real foot of somebody died already a long time ago. But they kept a foot. You can see it. And they wash it in water, and then they give that water to people. Some people drink it and pour it on themselves. And not all, most of them, if not all of them, ended up sick. So these crazy things happening, and I'm wondering why. So now this video, see what's happening, and just play the video because I just don't want to be yapping about it. Only women, mind you. And by the way, it's not a comedy. Church service. And it's the most crazy part of it, because I don't understand his language, is that he's yapping like that to make himself look so serious in what he's doing. But with a straight face, he's cleaning up a woman, a big ass woman in front of you, doing that. Where did we go wrong, people of God? What is happening? What's happening to the world today? From America to Europe to Asia to Middle East, all the way to Africa. And the camera guy, hey, he's on point. And the brother there, what are you looking at? Look in your Bible, man. Hey. Hey. The brother is like, it's zoomed in. And it's so crazy because everybody has their parts, right? And this doesn't make sense to me. Please, maybe I'm just too nervous, so I'll keep talking about it. But look at this, eh? She was not being bathed with her clothing. She was completely clean, but naked. And next one. Come on. If somebody knows this language, please, I would like to know in detail what he's talking about. Also, she doesn't know how to put a cream on herself now. I think the feminists will have picnic with this video. Hey, and the sister is having fun here. Me, I don't understand women. Is this juju or what? It's getting extreme. It is okay. I think yeah. So this is the story, guys. This is what's happening around the world now. A church, a pastor preaching is not enough. He has to be creative. He has to come up with a method on how to deliver people. Beautiful flyers behind him. The guy is waiting like crazy because he's at work. So you imagine you go home to your family, right? Your wife did not show up to church today. Honey, I'm home. Hey, Scott. Hey, honey, how was the service today? Hey, the Holy Spirit spoke, man. He revealed so much. The Holy Spirit revealed so much. Hey, honey, the things are crazy. But mind you, this is not even the craziest things, y'all. The craziest things, I think, is the same pastor I saw in this church. It was about him. Oh my God. Now the chat, please chat, help me or save me on this one. The craziest things I saw, it was about this, if you know this pastor, another pastor, but I think it's the same guy, shaving women in church. in church. Excuse me? It is a crazy thought to see this happening in our local churches. And then somebody is not a Christian come to church for the first time and just walk inside the door and see this happening. What's the reason of not calling this witchcraft? You're going to call this, like in South Africa, they call them sangomas. This is a witchcraft by itself. How did we come up with this idea now? I mean, I'm like, which Bible do they read and which Bible do I read? Where did I go wrong? In some African charismatic and prophetic churches, physical rituals like birthing, anointing, or washing are used as symbols. Yep. Mind you, look how crazy. Are used as symbols of cleansing and deliverance. And this is not only Africa. Let's don't blame African. This is also, you can find this in other places like in IT. You can find it in places like Jamaica and so all those crazy stuff. These practices are controversial with many Christian leaders and theologians, condemning them unbiblical and abusive, really. And the media in Ghana and across Africa have reported multiple cases of pastors humiliating congregants. They are not humiliated, these people are having fun, under the guise of miracles or breakthrough. Did this person look humiliated to me? To you? No, she doesn't. Hey, Pastor, hey. Lord have mercy.
Lord, it is the same pastor and he's shaving pubic hair.
Yep, I know. You found the story.
Yeah.
So, what is his name? Let me find. Let me.
If you just look Ghanaian pastor.
Let me just search it up for you because Ghanaian. These Ghanaian guys they are crazy. I was gonna prepare it, then I thought it's too much. Then I left it. But the production is bringing it up. Yep. What in the world of God? Please, what in the world of God is this? Indeed. And this is crazy. So, this is what the church is supposed to look like today? I don't know. Let me just show you this story because when I found this story, I was taken off by surprise. Oh my God. Just put my screen, put Lord have mercy. Yep, they're all there. Yep. So this is what's happening in the churches today. Check this out. We've seen partially this one. A sister come to the front to be birthed in church. You have to undress in church in front of everybody, right? Now, I beg to ask, is this a women rights conference? No, is this a conference, women conference? What's going on here? Yeah, you thought it's going to be on the screen. I know. But, so, do you understand how insane this is? I think this is what it should be on the thumbnail, really. Because, do you understand how crazy this is? You come to church, didn't you bath yourself at your home? Don't you don't you have a shower? Don't you have lotions?
I hope you all know this.
Well, she even get her underwears, huh? So they have like a specific holy underwears they receive from church. This doesn't make sense. And what? This is more a woman, not a man. What are they using, people?
Something from above. I have been directed to do this direction for you people.
Hey, turn it up a little bit. It's been directed to do this direction for you people. No, listen again.
This something from above.
Something from above.
I have been directed to do this direction for you people.
It's been directed to do this direction.
People will be sitting at their homes and they will be telling me that this pastor is not from God.
Hey, My friend, you said it.
But for me, I always say that when the Spirit directs you, you don't have any option.
Amen. Okay, bring the volume down. Guys, please, listen. If you were not a Christian, you just came to the channel and you watch this. We're talking about a church. This is a church we're talking about, right? But please listen. These are not all churches. They're churches with common sense. When the Spirit directs you, you don't have any choice, he says. Let me tell you one thing. Show me in the scripture where Jesus did a practice like this. Oh no, Jesus did not live long enough. Okay, the apostles, please. The only time Jesus was involved in something to do with water like this was to pull Peter out of it, to fish, and to baptize people. You can count when pigs were thrown in the water, but Jesus was not involved, was not really touching water. But this man says the Spirit, listen, this man of God, as he claimed to be, says the Spirit directed him to do this. Just think about that. Hey, he's doing a real proper cleaning, eh? It's not even like a sprinkle of water, just, no, he's going for it. Mercy. Imagine you come to church and this is what the service is about. What did the pastor preach about today? Hey, it was a revelation about birthing. Okay, revelation about what? Yeah, about taking a shower. Oh, so what about it? Nothing, because we already taken a shower in church. So I'm clean. Yep. What's in the world of God is this, the church says. Let's just skip it a little bit. Oh, can you please bring the volume down? Because I don't understand what's happening here. Bring the volume down, yeah? So, 31st crossover night, eh? Is this a crossover night? Oh, this was a crossover night service, I think. Oh, mercy, 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 Lord. And why are there only women, though? Why are there only women that are taking action? Why are there only women that are participating in this cleansing? Hey, my brother, she doesn't have to put her foot there now. Okay, so now, as I was saying, I'm so sorry, guys, to expose you to this, but we need to expose the devil. We need to expose him because I don't want you to fall prey. This is the same pastor who was involved in these things. Check this out. And I'm doing this specially for production. This is the same pastor was involved in these things. Look at what's happening. What's going on? What does he say in the description there? Let me see. Ghanaian pastor asked female members to remove their during service and shave their for easy deliverance of Holy Spirit. This guy, the spirits keep talking to him. All the time comes the spirit tell him things that nobody else. I thought the Bible is no respecter of God is no respecter of a person. So, yep. This is church. You come to church, this is what you see. So, anyway, we're done. Let's move on. So, guys, okay, let's just dissect what we just saw there. Father, I pray that our mind will be cleansed from all this insanity. I even pray for these members in these churches that are being deceived, manipulated, abused, for that matter. May they find peace. Really. May they find Jesus. Because this is not Jesus. Imagine you come home as a wife and the husband's like, hey, what happened to you? You shaved. It's like, yeah, the pastor did it. Listen, the question is, why was the husband within the church in the first place to protect her? No, the question also should be, why did she decide to go to church with her husband in the first place? Without a husband. Because you see, men have certain level of, how do you call it? When it comes to these things, men, they don't really go like a chicken without a head. But guys, discern, have a spirit of discernment, understand deception, don't be deceived, because this is the same type of deception that we saw during COVID, the same type of deception in the US today. We are seeing it's coming to light. It's coming to light. So at the end of this show, I really wanted to talk about this foolishness for real, because this is not deliverance. This is humiliation in the name of God, manipulation and deceptions. It's the same things that somebody tell you to empty your bank account because God is going to bless you when you do not even have a spiritual conviction about it. I'm not against those who donate to church. I'm not at all. If God asks you to do something, you do it. But when somebody tell you God's saying you should do something and they convince you to do it in the name of God, you should ask yourself a question. What's happening here? What's going on here? At what point do we stop calling this deliverance and start calling it a spiritual abuse? How desperate must you be really to take this at face value? But then again, maybe this is happening in the church, but outside the church, this is happening in the government as well. In our next segment, we see the manipulation of the media that happened. For those of you who watch the speech of Donald Trump at January 6th of 2021, seeing what they call the insurrection. And many of you did not even understand the word insurrection back then. So the question in the chat, I'm sorry, chat, let me just take a moment and read the chat and see what the chat is saying. It says, what country is this? Why are people blaspheming God? Christianity is a joke. God forgive me for laughing, but this is hilarious and saddening. I agree with you, Valencia. Yeah, this is in a Ghana. The church in Ghana. It's hilarious. It's something we makes you think is a comedy, right? You feel like no, this can't be real. This is a sketch. This is somebody who's mocking the body of Christ. But then when you wake up from that moment, then you realize, no, this is really serious. This is really what's happening. And yeah, indeed, it's not okay. It is not okay. Maybe they are single, just like in the twin flame school. If you don't know about the twin flame school thingy, we did a show on this, so look into it. Maybe not in this, but a little bit. But you see now, the thing about deception, deception is so dangerous. You know why? The danger about deception is that it's very deceiving. Let it sink in for a moment. Yep, I'm telling you. The things about deception is so deceiving. That's what makes it a crazy deception. Why I say it's like a glory, it literally means the same thing. Yes. And that's the whole point. It's right there. You look at it, it's deception. But you understand deception, but you don't see the deceptive ideas behind it, and you just take it at face value as though it's okay. And we're seeing this in the body of Christ, yes, but also, yeah, indeed, that's deep. Thank you, Chad. But we're seeing this in the body of Christ, but also we are seeing this as well in our society. People are being I saw a story of an elderly lady receive a phone call from somebody from India, convinced her to empty her account. Not only to empty her account, but to go to an ATM machine, get the money out of her account, then put that money into a Bitcoin machine and transfer that money to a number the guy on the phone was giving her. And the guy on the phone was with her on the phone the whole morning, afternoon, for her to believe. So when you have a sense of deception, but you choose to entertain it because you feel like some type of way about a person, or you don't want to be this, you don't want to be that. I'm telling you, you have to run. It's not for nothing that the Bible says your ears and your eyes, or the other way around, your ears and your eyes are the gateway to your soul. Because when somebody has them, you are gone. In this story, we saw the media do the same thing to the rest of the world. Those who are watching January 6, J6, seeing the speech of Donald Trump. When I had this conversation back then, when I was banned, wake up in the next morning, my Twitter account was completely banned. I was not able to post nowhere on social media just because I was calling this for what it is, and I was posting videos that were going viral on social media. But we were silenced. We were mocked. They're telling us it's not true. The recent conversation I had with people about, they said Donald Trump incited violence on the January 6th. I'm like, what are you smoking? Which pastor washed you? What are you talking about? Did you even watch the speech? But just the talking points for the media. But how can I blame you? Because all you saw is what we're going to see in the next video. I want to show you. But before we get that, let's just see what's happening now. Because Donald Trump finally fought himself back into position where he can bring changes. And now the media, they are bowing, they're running. General directors are being fired and CEOs are being fired because of what they call mistake. But we know was not a mistake. Oh my God. Cue this next video, please. Turn it up. Just do it again just for people to have to hear that question.
A senior government minister launched a fierce defence of the channel in the House of Commons, saying that the broadcaster remains a light on the hill for people all over the world. So, does the President feel that the network is taking this situation seriously? Does he believe that they've shown sufficient regret? Does this strain the relationship between the President and the Prime Minister? And given that the organisation is publicly funded, is the President prepared to bankrupt the BBC in his pursuit of truth and justice?
Well, thank you, Bev. There's a lot of questions in one there.
Please
I will say, I know the President has a very good relationship with Prime Minister Starmer. You have been there. You've seen them in their interactions. You've questioned both leaders in your time joining us when we've gone to the United Kingdom a few different times now. However, he has always been very frank when he disagrees with leaders, even whom he has a good relationship with. And the BBC, being a fair news organization, is definitely an outlet. I think these two leaders would disagree. Yes. The President has made it very clear that this is a leftist propaganda machine that is unfortunately subsidized by British taxpayers, and he thinks that's extremely unfortunate for the great people of the United Kingdom and Great Britain. And I think that the President was deeply concerned by the editing, the purposeful and dishonest editing of his speech that was so clearly fake news, and he rightfully dubbed that term many years ago, and this is a classic example of that. We see it in the United States all the time. We see it now in the United Kingdom. As you know, the President's external legal counsel has filed a lawsuit against the BBC. We expect that to continue, and whether they apologize or not is up to them. Thanks.
There you have it. Now, let's just for a moment listen what Caroline Levitt just said. Because if we just look at the media and the accountability, Trump's former legal team say they will continue the $1 billion lawsuits against the BBC. Do you think they deserve it? Chat. Do you think they deserve it? I mean, I want to move on from this story, but chat is you guys are on fire. So I just have to read the chat on this one. Or I can do it after the show. What do you think, production? Should I do it after the show, at the end of the show? At the end of the show, I'm going to look at the chat. So chat, just let them keep coming. Let them keep coming. Just drop them in there. It doesn't matter whether we are off the topic or not. Just drop in them, and then at the end of the show, I'm going to look into the chat and address them, okay? So the $1 billion lawsuit toward BBC, even though it's publicly funded in the UK, but the propaganda that these people are being spewing, the lies and manipulations, we all know it. They have the agenda that they have, and they will tell you only things that are fitting the narrative. They will not tell you the truth because the truth doesn't matter to them. They will not tell you the truth because the truth is not what they are paid to do. And that's what we saw here. Caroline Leavitt says the president has now filed a lawsuit against the BBC. Question: is the president prepared to bankrupt the BBC? The journalist asked. Answer from Caroline, excuse me. This is a leftist propaganda machine that is unfortunately subsidized by the British taxpayers. So she make it that she wanna make it like it is a news organization that is unbiased. They fight for truth. In which world do you think BBC, CNN, MSNBC, NPO in the Netherlands, which one? NOS, all this, Al Jazeera, don't even get me started with that one. In which world do you believe those are unbiased? President Trump has a history of challenging these, how do you call them? Challenging these, I wanted to, the Holy Spirit is not allowing me to give them this crazy name. This major news organization outlets, the previous lawsuit that President Trump had was against CBS, and he reportedly settled for around $60 million. That's how much they had to pay him. But yet they're not learning. The BBC case centered an allegation that a documentary represented him and used misleading editing. It's not even an allegation anymore because we could all see it. So just listen, let's just talk about the man President Trump is. Like, whether you like him or whether you agree with him or not, let's look at his achievements since he's been in the office, not even previous one, like this time, and how he opened many people's eyes to the evil propaganda around us and those so-called representatives we trusted. How he exposed them all. This man is serious. He's talking about things that the media doesn't even talk about it. And now they're forced to talk about it. Why? Because the president has spoken about it. But no, we still have to believe the MSM. We still have to follow this so-called propagandists, podcasters who keep telling you, selling you things that tickle your little ears and you feel like, yes, this is people I need to hear. But please, I want you to drop your thoughts on these issues in the chat because I want to hear. I just don't want to be here just telling you what I think, but I want to hear what your thoughts are. Please cue this Cut 21.
They actually changed my January 6th speech.
President Trump is threatening to sue the BBC for at least $1 billion, claiming a documentary deceptively edited his January 6th speech. He says the October 2024 BBC Panorama episode made it look like he incited the Capitol riot, and now wants the BBC to retract the episode or face legal action.
Well, I think I have an obligation to do it because you can't allow people to do that.
Here is what's interesting.
No, you can.
Trump plans to sue in Florida, not the UK. Why? Well, because the UK law requires defamation cases to be filed within a year of a statement's publication. And that's already passed.
And
the US also offers the potential for much bigger damages.
Him.
Last year, he sued CBS in a case which settled for $16 million. The case may hinge on whether people were able to watch the documentary in Florida and if they felt misled. While the documentary wasn't aired in the US, it was available online. To win, Trump's lawyers must prove the documentary was false, defamatory, or that the defendant recklessly disregarded the truth. But the BBC has strong defenses. US free speech protections are robust, and they can argue the documentary is substantially true. Florida law also allows dismissal of defamation lawsuits that have no merit. If Trump pursues the $1 billion claim, it's seen as a starting point for negotiations. The final amount, if any, would be decided by a judge or a jury.
So you need to understand what she just shared there. It's important to understand that this video, this cutting, and maybe President Trump is going after BBC, but it's just it's going to be like a domino effect, because many of these media organization agencies, they were part of this collusion. They were part of working together to push these lies, because I know many of them, like CNN and MSNBC, as well guilty for that matter. So really, you have to follow this closely. But also, President Trump is an amazing negotiator. He might call $1 billion just to be able to open the Pandora's box, to be able to sit on the table with these crazy people and be able to put new legislations, new regulations in place that will hold them accountable. Because these people believe they're untouchable. Why? Because they have all these politicians in their pockets. So I'm just curious about where this is going to go. So let's cue the next video, because we're going to talk about how that's... Just cue the next video, because I'm curious about...
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Okay, pause it for me for a minute.
And we're going to cheer on.
The idea here is to see what Panorama edited, the BBC edited, what most people in the world saw. And because the BBC, you see now, BBC is one of those media organizations that when you want to look smart, you're going to quote, I watched this on BBC and this is what BBC announced. So this is factual. So many people take it to the bank and they cash it out. And many media news agency take the video from BBC and they re-air it on their channels, because if BBC it obviously is the truth. So just play it again from the beginning. Let's listen carefully what they say. Pause it before we go to the original one so that people understand it different. Play the first one. Play it again.
Our brave senators and congressmen and women. We're going to walk down to the Capitol,
what are we gonna
and
do?
I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
What he said, what BBC said, he said, we're going to walk down to the Capitol. I'll be there with you, and we'll fight and fight like hell. But understanding, but on the moment he said we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and the time he said we're going to fight like hell, there is almost an hour in between from what he was saying. So they took that fight as like hell out of context what he was saying. They plug it to, we're going to walk down to the Capitol, I'll be there with you. And then completely create a whole new speech. And that's what most of you in the world had. Now, this is what he said.
And we're going to cheer on.
We're going to walk to the Capitol. We're going to cheer on.
Senators and congressmen and women.
They're going to cheer them on.
These clips showing the edited and original versions of a Trump speech have caused a major crisis at the BBC. The BBC's Director General, Tim Davie, and Head of News, Deborah Turness, have both resigned.
Right there. So understand this. General Director or Head of News and the CEO. The General Director hired the CEO and they both resigned. Why? Because they know not that they screwed up, because they knew they messed up. They knew they lied. They knew they deceived. They knew they manipulated the people. They knew that very well. It's nothing new. But what it is, why they had to put their tails between their legs and run out, is because they got caught. It's not that they deceived you and I, but it's that they got caught. And that's why they did not expect to happen. And that's why they fought against Trump getting back in the office, because they know he's a bulldozer. Once he gets back in the office, he's going to have all the power behind him to bring to justice the wrong that was done against him. We have to really just take a moment and breathe this in, understanding if they did this to Donald Trump, as big as he is, if they dare to go after him in this way, what about all those other leaders in your countries, in your nations, that they were good? They didn't fit the narrative. They did not agree with the propaganda. They did not go for the MSM talking points. And they decide to destroy them, to steal the election from them, and you never heard of it, and you just thought, I voted, they won. This gives a different look an election altogether, how manipulated it can be. And that's what the president is fighting here, President Trump. You see, he's taking it gradually. For some of us, you think it's maybe too slow about it. Why isn't he not taking action? Because there's plenty of evidence out there. But you have to understand that a man does not want to be a tyrannic president. He doesn't want to appear as a dictator. He doesn't want to act like a king. What they're trying to project to him that he is. So he's allowing the legal process to take his course. That's what he's allowing. And you wait and see. If they go into, how do you call it? They go into, oh my God, how can I forget the name of that? Where they have to reveal the cases and they have to reveal all the allegations. They have to look into there's a specific name for it in English. I can't remember. When they go into that process, it's a process done in court, but it has a specific name. When they go into that process, they have to look at what happened. Because BBC cannot say it was a mistake. Listen, you are editing. I'm an editor. You are editing a video. You take a story starting. We are going to go down to the Capitol. And then you say, I need to cut somebody. I need to make it short. You cut almost more than an hour of footage. You go all the way toward the end and say, and then you create a complete new story out of it. And you say that was a mistake. They're going to blame the editor. They're going to blame the small little guys who, no, thank you. This was a strategic, well-planned and executed plan. And now they want to say they are sorry. You know how much that has impacted the whole world. That's what happened on the J6. The lies that were pushed. They call it an insurrection. Some of you do not even know the word insurrection, what it meant before the propaganda media start pushing it. And the insurrection, nobody died on their side except one person that died, and it was from the Trump side, Ashley Babbitt. She's the one who got shot. And my goodness, I don't want to get in trouble because I get ticked off by this story because I follow this so deeply and very, very surgically focused on this. I was following what was happening. And I was so baffled because I was not able to say it, because every time you dare to tell people the truth, you get silenced because the people say, no, you're lying. Why? Because the MSM is not saying it. But you don't understand how MSN are in the pocket of these people. They are all together. And these people that get fired, you think they get fired is finished. You wait and follow. Just follow them closely. You're going to see where they're going to end up. They've done their parts right. They've done it well. And you know what the Democrats always say? Never let a good crisis go to waste. Thank you. So you're gonna see. Let's play this next video because let's continue with this one because let's just put. I just wanted to put these images on your screen to show you the people that got thrown. You might think that got thrown under the bus, but not. They got put in a yacht for that matter. Just go on.
Amid mounting criticism that the broadcaster deceived viewers. The speech was part of an hour-long address given by Donald Trump before protesters attacked the US Capitol on January 6.
That can also be debates about what happened here. Can you pause it for a minute? Because, oh my God, just go back on those crowd at the Capitol if you can. Because when you see those people at the Capitol, yes, stop there. If you go, because I posted this stuff on Twitter before I got banned, you see how many of these people got invited to enter by the police. Some of them were just calmly walking through the Capitol respectfully, police walking beside them, chatting with the police. But some of them outside, there were some, I'm not sure if I can call them police officer or instigator, whatever they were shooting into the crowd. The crowd was standing there quietly with the police in front of them, then doing nothing. And a shot came. And some people got hurt, they were bleeding. And so the crowd got worked up. So they decided to engage with the police there. Because often the police will go and instigate and push the crowd, beat them up. So when the crowd comes against them, they call them a violence. They call them insurrection. It is crazy. But we're not even talking about Antifa that was among the crowd. We're not talking about it. There's this big guy. Oh, Lord have mercy. There's this big guy. What his name was? It was this. Oh, my God. I don't want to go too much in this. Let me just quickly. There's this big guy, white big guy who was part of the crowd calling them to go inside. Keep calling them. Come. Let's go inside. Let's go do this. But all the other people got prosecuted except him. And people been asking a question, was this guy really more or working together with the FBI? Because those are the questions that are being asked today. Were the FBI involved? Were the FBI involved? Were the FBI involved? And if so, how much? Yeah, how much was the FBI involved in all this shenanigans? So I'm telling you, it is so deep and profound than you can imagine. Please continue playing.
The Telegraph UK published an exclusive report saying it had seen an internal BBC memo from a former external advisor. The memo suggested that the documentary had edited parts of the president's speech, so he appeared to explicitly encourage the storming of the Capitol. The speech that appears in the documentary stitches two segments together that were more than 50 minutes apart.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
More than 50 minutes apart. You see? You have to speed for it.
We fight like hell.
Trump took to Truth Social to celebrate the resignation news, posting, "The top people in the BBC, including Tim Davie, the boss, are all quitting/fired because they were caught doctoring my very good, perfect speech of January 6th. Announcing his resignation, Davie said in a statement posted on the BBC website, "Like all public organisations, the BBC is not perfect, and we must always be open, transparent and accountable." The resignations come at a difficult time for the BBC, as concerns have been raised about the way the publicly funded broadcaster has covered other issues such as the war in Gaza.
We don't take the word of Hamas with total truth. We like to look into it when they speak, unlike the BBC, who had multiple headlines. They wrote, "Israeli tank kills 26, Israeli tank kills 21, Israeli gunfire kills 31, Red Cross says 21 people were killed in an aid incident," and then, oh wait, they had to correct and take down their entire story, saying we reviewed the footage and couldn't find any evidence of anything. Oh,
imagine. Okay. And then it's okay to do that while the damage of your reporting is done. So you can just say, "Oh, we're not sorry, but yeah, we're just error in our of judgment, so yeah, life goes on." But then some students with a 1% of brain cells in their little head go and run with it. They will not even go and listen to that retraction of that news agency. They won't even pay attention whatsoever. That's how crazy it is when you see propagandas like this being pushed on the people. What BBC did is more than just an error. It was deliberate for me, in my opinion, my personal opinion, really. It was deliberate attack and well sort of. And they were not doing it alone. They were working together with many. I promise you, though. I can't prove it yet, but we'll find out. Allegedly. So many of us who were awake back then know what was happening, but were silenced and locked up. We could not even post it online, in media, in public discourse. When we tried to speak, it was completely disregarded and considered as conspiracy theory. Yeah, that's why they've already taken action by removing those higher up to save faces. But to me, that's just a little too late. I hope Trump doesn't settle down with these solars. You have another video on this topic? That was it? Okay. We're going to move in this a very interesting topic. But before we move, I want you guys to hear from PBD, because PBD, they covered this story, and the way they addressed it, I think he has some really strong foundation to it. Just hear what he said.
This happens with BBC. Then what does BBC do? Holy shit, we have to make sure we show what happened here. Who quits? You know who quits? Not just a VP of marketing, not just regular people.
Higher up, all the way on top of the ladder.
Who quits? BBC boss Tim Davie resigns over Trump documentary edit. And you know who else resigns?
The girl.
The girl. What does the girl do?
The CEO.
News head. She's the head of the news.
She's the head of the news. Rob, do you have the interview of her stepping down?
I have. She's walking outside.
You can play. Is this her?
This is Reuters covering.
I think we played that one yesterday, but there is one with the CEO, Rob,
I'll find it.
where the CEO, the lady is quitting, and she's being interviewed afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay? She's being interviewed afterwards.
This is when she's very pompous. We are professional journalists. We would never.
BBC would never do such a thing, you know. And she's walking.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. So woman quits, resigns, and does this interview. That's her, but I want to see. There's a video that she's walking. It's a phenomenal video. I don't know why I can't find it on X, Rob. You're having a hard time as well.
I think we have it in our chat. Do we not?
It is in the chat. We send it, but I'm trying to find it here.
Rob,
so
check that.
she's being interviewed, and she comes up and saying, "I'm stepping down." Here, Rob, I just found it. I'm going to send it to you. Bingo. You should have it, Rob. See if you got it.
Bingo.
Okay. So she's walking up to just kind of give the news. BBC would never do such a thing. You know, we're not
Rob,
that.
I
We're
just
not
thumbed
this.
it up
We're
in
not
the
that.
chat.
If you go to it, Rob, you have.
I would like to say it has been the privilege of my career to serve as the CEO of BBC News and to work with our brilliant team of journalists. I stepped down over the weekend because the buck stops with me.
Really? Let's find out.
But I'd like to make one thing very clear. BBC News is not institutionally biased.
What the? Listen, even a baby was born like today. If you put the news there, they look away because it's BBC.
That's why it's the world's most trusted
Pause
news
real quick.
provider.
By the way, she's not just the head of anything. She is the CEO of
The
BBC.
CEO. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you understand what just happened?
Yeah.
She's the CEO of BBC.
They got rid of the CEO. They went on top of the ladder, found the person who hired the CEO, also got rid of them. Why? My friend, $1 billion lawsuits. What are you going to do?
BBC
You're going to fire your own mother even.
that resigns because they know a $1 billion lawsuit is coming for manipulation. Please continue, Rob.
Provider.
Why did you fail to deal with the mistakes that were made?
And see my teams. Thank you.
Yeah. Why did you fail to do it when mistakes were made? What? That's the question. All this is just this thing just really pisses me off because I'm like, you were here acting with that little smug smile on your face, acting like you've done nothing. You know you are the devil wearing Prada. You know you know very well what you did. If you can just open that little skull of yours, we will see all those connections. We can see all those images.
Thank you so much.
Right, we're going now.
Do you
Thank
think that the journalists are institutional, are corrupt like President Trump?
They are. They are, because these journalists are being paid millions to keep their mouth shut. When they know the truth, they won't even report it. Why? Because of a paycheck. You guys, tell me if I'm wrong. You're watching the show. Tell me I'm wrong. Say.
Yes. Do you think the journalists our journalists aren't corrupt? Our journalists are hard-working people who strive for impartiality.
Right. Because you know they're going to be reporting about you very soon.
Stand by their journalism.
Is there institutional bias at the BBC?
There is no institutional bias. Mistakes are made, but there's no institutional bias.
Listen, when you make a mistake, you're cooking for your husband, you decided to put two pieces of Madame Jeannette in there, papers. What do? Do you just go and like, oopsie? Well, pretend like it was not done, and then you serve the food, and your husband comes later in the evening, you are in bed, pretending like you have no idea what's going on, and he just eat the food. Ooh, he almost burned his mouth because of how spicy that thing is. And then you'll be like, oopsie, mistakes were made. Or you will go and say, chips, patatas, celery, tomato, I made a mistake. So, yeah, we just have to make something else. I cannot serve this to my husband anymore because I made the mistakes here. Or you're trying to correct it. It took them how long? January 6, 2021. Today we are what? 2025. They were told, apparently they came together. Some of the journalists or some of the editors, some of the media people told them it is incorrect what we're doing. They tell them to shut their mouth and do their job. Now you're being acting here because you're being cut. You are only sorry because you got cut. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys, because I just hate people who act like this. I hate them with the love of God, with the hatred of Christ.
Then why are you resigning?
Folks dealt with on Trump, on anti-Semitism, on women's rights.
I'm sure that story will emerge.
That
for now, I'm going to go and see our team.
Do you think the board acted against you? Do you think the board acted against you?
This way, Deborah. And Pat, you proved that they even talked about it. They even said, like, hey, listen, this is, you guys realize that we're putting something out that, and they still did it.
No, they knew it.
They knew they were doing
it.
They
were doing it. They knew they were manipulating.
Tom. They didn't care.
Yeah, you have
Tom,
to edit that.
Tom?
I can't hear.
I know, we get it, but we already feel we'll do that afterward. Just stay with us here until they fix it.
Sometimes it's like me on my production. It's like, whatever you're doing is not important right now. Let's focus on the show.
So they knew they're doing it. It's intentional. It's happening. They're trying to meddle with somebody else's politics in America that's taking place.
Yeah.
And
she's not biased, Pat.
He steps down. Now she steps down. God knows how many other people are going to be.
No, let me just move on because there's something he said that's profound.
And guess what he's going to do till he gets that?
Tom,
go ahead. What are your thoughts?
No, he's going to do what he's good at.
Yep.
And he has seen bias before. You see her walking. What you see is an executive walking who has signed an exit agreement that has got non-disparagement. So she's saying the only thing she can say and what she agreed to say. It's just party line is what you're hearing from her. But the reason she resigned is because there was bias. The reason that Tim was his name resigned because there was bias. And by the way, if it's an isolated incident, they can go to the mat in a lawsuit on an isolated incident, Pat. And they can say, hey, we terminated an editor, we changed our procedures, it was a one-off, and we issued an apology and a retraction.
It's not
you do that, you don't lose the CEO. You do that, you don't lose your head of news.
You're right.
But guess what? They know what's coming, and what he's bringing the hammer.
Yep.
Can I just simplify this?
Yeah.
We're going to, and hopefully everybody, here, so they want to happen.
Donald Trump threatens to sue BBC for $1 billion over January 6th speech. Edit. Rob, is there a video on this, him talking about it, or is it just
that they were considering $1 billion?
So you know what? Thank you for that. So what you're seeing here, a pattern, getting back to respect and not manipulating. Talk to us, okay? Don't do this. A guy asks a question. They come to us. We had a call with, you take the AI companies out, the two multi-billion, while you're in the middle of it. Search this, search that. It's not like, talk to me. Be real. What do you think? Here's what we think. Let me tell you this.
Anyway, I think we've had enough of this one, but I just want to inform you guys what the media has been doing is now coming to light, and they're being held accountable. They don't like it. It stings. It hurts. It's like putting Madame Jeanette in the wound. That's what it feels like for them right now. And they are not fond of it. They are not fond of it at all. So let's move on to our program and our last show of today. Right, production? This is the last show of today? Yes, it is. This is we move to our last show of today. And I saw this, and this made me clutch my paws. Really. It makes me... It's just insane to think about it. I think I want to talk about this spray before you show it on the screen, because you have to understand that when a company, they produce, they come together, they sit in the room like we have a product. The product is going to be called such and such. Do you think they don't take time to analyze and say, the name we're giving the product, what does the name mean? What is it derived from? What is the idea behind this? Or do you think, chat, I'm really asking you honestly here, or do you think they just come up with these ideas out of the blue? Please, you answer, because this is the women product, so I need to hear from you ladies. When you see a product in the market, do you think there is a thought process that went into naming that product? Or do you think we're just a kid playing and they wrote on the piece of paper this, and the father's like, hey, that's a nice name. I'm going to put this on the next product. You let me know. So I'm giving you a minute to do that. So now, the products we're talking about here is the products, you can put it on the screen now for me if you don't mind, image, is the product called, Lord have mercy, put the image number 2 if you don't mind. Do we want that? Yeah, this is the product in the products from Eden. And they decided to call this spray Mommy Water. And the Americans will say Mommy Water. Mommy Water. Lord have mercy. So they call it Mommy Water. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. So Eden come with this product. They call it Mommy Water. It makes you wonder. It costs $44. It's a facial spray or beauty spray, whatever the spray it is. You're spraying yourself with beauty, right? Then ask yourself a question. Why call it Mommy Water? If you understand what the name Mommy Water means, let me enlighten you if you don't know what the name Mommy Water is. Check this video out.
You can add to your routine, and I'm not even joking.
That's
Mommy
not the video. Oh, 1 second.
It is
What video is this? That's the video one. Let's just check this video out because she's first explaining to you what the product is. I think that's fair for you first to get an idea of what the product is before we start breaking it down. So please, starting from beginning, play it.
This is the easiest thing you can add to your routine, and I'm not even joking. Mommy Water.
Mommy Water.
It is a ultra calming rescue mist from Eden. If your skin gets red, if it gets irritated, if it's dry, whatever it might be, this is going to be your go-to. It's made with Cica, ectoin, and panthenol, I think is how you say it, which is basically all about like calming your skin, hydrating it, and helping to protect the skin barrier. But the thing I love most about this is that it doesn't matter when you use it. You could use it before makeup. You can use it after makeup. You can use it in the morning. You can use it at nighttime. You can use it during the day with a full face of makeup. I'm not sure if you saw, this is a super fine mist. It is not going to mess up your makeup. Not to mention the fact that you could use it on your body as well as your face. People are using this after they do microneedling. People are using this after they go to the gym. People are using it for hot flashes, like all the things. This is so versatile. I am putting this down below if you want to check it out because honestly, this is very new to me. So it's down below.
How many of you knew about this product? In the chat. Okay. Drop it in the chat. You can put your hands up, but you can drop it in the chat and say, I knew about it. Let us know. So now, how in the world do you come up with the name of your spray and decide that calling it something most people around the globe who understand spirituality will associate with evil. And you just say, it's fine. It's all good. Unless you know what you're doing. You have a genius marketing team that decided to come up with this strategy. They're like, you know what? Let's call this name and let's make it the most provocative name to people so they will talk about it for free. I have a free publicity. No publicity is a bad publicity, they say. Then they must be genius unless it's exactly what it looks like, a demonic product with a deeper intention than most people want to admit because we are in this bubble world where we don't like to understand things and just go with them as though it doesn't matter. So Mommy Water is a widely known. Let me just give you what Mommy Water really is. It's not even about meaning or the language. In almost everywhere when you search the word Mommy Water online, is a widely known water spirit in the West. Do you even have any image of Mommy Water? Just put it on the screen for me. It's a widely known water spirit in the West and Central African folklore. The name Mommy Water comes from a Pidgin Creole form of mother of water. It's a Pidgin. It's a Pidgin Creole. It's a Pidgin English, Pidgin Creole. And the Creole is also an English mostly spoken in Haiti. Production was correcting me in my ear. I'm like, yeah, I know my pronunciation is not always on point, but this one, I think I got it right. Pidgin. Huh? No, pagan, but Pidgin. But Pidgin is it's pagan. It's Pidgin, no pagan. It's a pidgin English, mostly, and Creole. And Creole, as I say, is spoken mostly in Haiti. And it means actually mother of water. Funny enough, in Lingala language, also it get used a lot in Congo, the word mami water. So those who speak Lingala in the chat, they can let me know if I'm mistaken. You know, it's also used a lot in Lingala, mami water. So mother of water. And then you have a water spray that you're spraying on your face. Hey, Lord have mercy, before we get in there. She is, as you can see on the screen, often depicted as a mermaid-like figure associated with beauty. Oh my God. The product is what again? It's a beauty product. Associated with beauty, seduction, wealth, and spiritual power, but also with marine covenant and the spiritual bondage in many Christian testimonies. African, Asian, Jamaican, black people, mostly, you cannot even ignore this. Most of you know this very, very, very well. People live in the Netherlands, around the waters. You know this spirit in a different name, but you know it exists. Using this name for a beauty product has sparked a debate about cultural appropriation and spiritual implication. I don't even think it's all about cultural appropriation. It's really about evil versus good. This isn't just about skincare on this point. This is about the spiritual messages hiding in plain sight in the marketing, in the form of a marketing strategy. Some of you might see the picture on the screen and like, oh, she looks beautiful, elegant. Oh, until she appears in your dream. That's when you understand, hey, listen, I appreciated you, but as long as you stay outside. It's like, no, you're welcoming me in. Now I'm inside, so let's do business. Then you start running around, hey, I need the priest, exorcism. And we'll find you flying on the ceiling and start rebuking some devils out of you. How do they enter? You bought a product being naive and stupid, you spray it in your face, and you don't understand that you're doing rituals. Oh, Lord have mercy. You're doing rituals. There's another name, ritual. Hey, Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, on this show, we're going to teach you guys how to be safe, spiritually, physically, and mentally, for the glory of Yeshua HaMashiach. Let's play this next video, explaining what Mami Wata is. Play it again from the beginning.
West Africa. Mami Wata is a fascinating spirit, originating from West Africa, specifically Southeast Nigeria. Associated with water, she embodies the qualities of mermaids, divination, healing, luck, money, and music. Mami Wata is known for her opulence, often depicted with combed-back hair symbolizing her wealth. Her stories have spread through trade routes, resulting in cultural adaptations and combinations with local water spirits and goddesses. Mami Wata's realm is believed to be either underwater in the spirit world or both. She is a complex figure, sometimes portrayed as a motherly figure who offers healing and guidance, while other times exhibiting a more seductive nature. Regardless, she represents the power and allure of water in various aspects of life.
There you have it, a spirit entity, a water spirit, a figure that many people, especially in African culture, do not treat as a joke or a brand name. People understand how evil this spirit is. Look at it on the screen. But the things about spirit, they can be shape-shifted. They can change their look and appearance to you as you prefer, to just masquerade themselves and hide who they are. So, listen, guys, after everything we've just learned about what Mami Wata really is and represents spiritually, can you still innocently use the spray and think it is harmless? Oh, it will harmlessly bless your skin? Can you really go there and say that? Do you think this brand did not take a time to look into the name Mami Wata? Are you going to be that naive, think it's like nothing wrong with it? This is not just about this is not just about a product anymore as much as it is about you. I'm telling you, this is about ritual, evil ritual. You have to be confused, insane, and deeply blinded to think names don't have meanings. I know that's what the society of today is trying to tell you. Doesn't matter what it means. This is what I want it to be. And those of you that are thinking the meanings of names just shift or stop existing, You don't understand that meaning have physical and spiritual consequences. First of all, they have a physical representation and spiritual consequences. You have to understand that when you name something, that gives it a meaning. So there's a physical representation of it, and there's a spiritual consequences that goes with it, hand in hand. So when something is called ritual, you have to beg a question, why did they call it ritual? And I'm not here to tell you what to buy. I'm not here to say what you should now buy. If you are spiritually aware at all, you cannot afford to be naive about names and symbols anymore. We cannot afford to do that. They just leave it at that for a moment, because the rest is really up to you. Because now you understand what Mami Water is. You understand that names like a ritual, names like Mami Waters, Mami Water, Mother of Water, and it so happened to be a spray you have to spray in your face about beauty. Understanding that it's a spiritual entity, a water spirit, a figure that many people, especially in Africa, do not treat lightly, do not treat as a joke or just a brand. Men. I was talking to a friend of mine who was explaining to me how she was in a place in Cape Town in South Africa. And suddenly she saw people in white clothes walking to the water. And getting into the water, start doing rituals in the water. She said the waves were happening in the water, but they were not even getting wet. They're just standing in there as if it was an everyday thing. There are spirituality in the world we live in today. The world we live in is a world with so much. And God is calling us to be a light in this dark world. God is calling us to be a people that are not asleep, beloved. So, listen, y'all. We need to understand that the show of tonight, I know we touch deep stuff. I know we're dealing with the things. We're dealing with stories. And I'm looking at you right now in the camera, and I want you to really understand what I'm saying. I know that it might seem dark, it might seem that the things we address in this show tonight, though a bit negative, but I promise you, oh my dear beloved viewers and friends and people, only if you can hear my heart as I'm researching it, not like that pastor who says he hear from the Holy Spirit telling him to start washing people in the church or start shaving people in the service. That's when insanity meets foolishness and you have an explosion of evil. But I'm telling you that these stories are coming to you from a heart of love, of care. Lord have mercy. And I just hope you receive it. Let me just go and look on the chat, because I want, as we're moving at the end of the show, before we go into looking at what we discussed tonight. The chat says, too many phobias. Indeed, there are too many phobias today. Phobia for everything. Yeah, there's a phobia for everything. I agree with you. What's in the word of God is this. Indeed, we address that as well. Evil masquerading itself as something that is good. What country is this? As I said, was Ghana. This is not okay. We'll address those. Maybe we'll address that as well. Maybe they're single and those things. Okay. These pastors are getting creative to collect more offering and tithe. A lot of these pastors have a special place in hell, and they are going with a lot of church goers with them in hell. Indeed, they have a special place in hell with some of their church goers. I call them facilitators. Some of their facilitators are going in hell with them because of them seeing what's happening and you're refusing to address it. It is crazy to see these things happening in the church and we just okay with it. What they did was wrong, and they should be sued for defamation. Exactly. Valencia, you sound like a lawyer to me, man. A woman, I know you're a woman. They should be sued for defamation. And that's why actually the President Trump has done, sued them for defamation. And that's why it was taken to the US, because obviously Europe, the laws in Europe only facilitate bad doers, It's like after 1 year, things has been aired, you cannot sue them anymore. That's why in Europe, it's like you cannot sue them anymore because it's been a year that has passed by. What in the world? Yeah, they knew what they did was wrong. That's why they ran off like cowards, and the video is everywhere. The video is everywhere. People have seen it. The damage is done. It cost President Trump the election. Now they want to act like it was an innocent mistake. I rebuke thee in the name of Jesus. These are institutionally, is it institutional? I can't say it properly. I thought unfortunately. These are institutionally blessed. These are institutionally biased. Blessed. We have to get that screen a little bit bigger. These are institutionally biased, especially when it comes to Africa. I don't like watching the news. I promise you, the news here, when it comes to Africa, is institutionally biased on the highest level. And that's why we have talk shows like this, where we can address these issues in a place where we can have a honest conversation about this. Because when you think about what they think about Africa being a third world country, but they cannot get their hand out of the cookie jar, and the cookie jar is Africa. They keep taking from it. But it's like you're saying the cookie jar is toxic, is bad, is evil, but you can't get your hands out of it. You keep eating from it. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because they need Africa to exist, but Africa is still not good enough for them. I couldn't agree with you more. Valence, I should have you as a guest on the show one time soon. Kati knew about it, but this you should not buy. You hear it from Kathy. Kathy said you should not buy it. You should not buy it. Kathy said you should not buy it. That's it. Done. Mic drop. The show is finished. That's how Islam was created. I think we missed a show on that topic, though. Because now that you mentioned Islam, I think my notes, wait a minute. Because there is a topic that it just skipped me. My God. What's going on? I'm just going through mine because I missed a very interesting show. It's all the way down. I think maybe I did not miss it. Oh, yeah. It's just me who moving to end the show too soon. How far down is it? Guys, I'm so sorry. I have to look. Let me look at my teleprompter because I think my teleprompter has something that I do not have. Yeah. Oh, guys, please, we cannot go without dealing with this issue. What in the world? I almost missed this because as I was preparing the show, finishing preparing, I saw this story and I wanted to share it with you. So this is a story about, just before we close, please forgive us. I want to bring you this story because it is a story about a Muslim guy who was having a conversation with a Christian guy. An Islamic imam got very upset with him, so upset and so angry when he saw this fellow Muslim talking to a Christian preacher. So he decided to threaten him, and he called the police and threatened to get the man arrested and banned from his mosque if he kept talking to the Christian guy. This is the definition of insanity. This is insane. It is sad. It is a reminder of how fear and the division are poisoning relationship even between neighbors and the faith community. When dialogues and respects are replaced by threat and policing, really, everyone loses. Because the police officers came, as you see in the video, and instead the police officer correcting the imam, they sided with the imam, telling the guy to leave. And the preacher is like, no, we are in a public place. You cannot tell him to leave. We're having a conversation. You're trying to manipulate him. And then the police officer says the guy has been banned from the mosque. It doesn't even make sense. Cue that video before we forget it.
Please, I'm asking a question. No.
He's getting.
You have to listen to me.
You have to listen to me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
One question. No.
Don't listen to him. He's trying to manipulate you.
The police officer is trying to manipulate you.
Neither one of us are fighting. You're being more confrontational than we are.
That's the sergeant.
You're trying to confront this man and force him to go inside, officer. You're violating our free speech.
That you are trespassing from the property of the church.
You hear that?
See this? This man right here is threatening to trespass this Muslim right here because he's talking to a Christian on a sidewalk. You see that?
On the property, you're going to go to jail for trespassing.
What? So if the Muslim end up going on a mosque now, is going to be arrested for trespassing, because that's what this picture shows you. The religion of peace says, if you do not abide to my command, I am going to take actions against you. This is our last video of the show of tonight, just to keep you thinking. This is what Islam really does look like. So, hey, I almost forgot that story, man. That story was very interesting. So, but before we go, we're gonna end this on a high note with a song that we wrote. It's an amazing song, and I know it's gonna bless you. So stay tuned, because I want to show you. I just want to go through what we covered tonight, because you see, if you want to go deeper and do your own research, which I highly encourage, check the description of this video for references to everything we talked about. I'm telling you, all the receipts, they're in the description. They're referenced in the description for what we spoke about. Don't just take my word for it. Read it yourself. Please, I urge you, I beg of you, take time. Read it for yourself. Look into it. I'm telling you. The truth is super stubborn. I like to say this because it's the truth. Stay awake, stay hopeful, and remember, you are not crazy. And whenever they tell you that, don't believe them, because the truth will always surface, because that's how stubborn the truth is. The truth is always find its way to the top. Always find its way to the top. I think I did not even quote some scriptures for y'all, but what do you have on the screen for me? Because I think I missed it. Show it to me. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Matthew 5, chapter 9. Blessed are the peacemaker. And when you think about the peacemaker, I can't help than to think about President Donald Trump, because of the work he's doing around the globe. The truth is very stubborn. He always finds its way to the surface. You can bury it deep, but don't realize it's a seed. You know, always find its way to the top. So, what did we discuss about today? Let's just look briefly on the text of the show. Do you have this on the screen? It's in the map, but it's in the thing in the design map. Just take a look quickly for me, because I need to just show this to our viewers so we get a little bit of what we discuss about tonight. It's in the design map. There is a flyer there with. You got it? Do you get it? You don't get it? Okay. So now, while we get this screen flyer for you guys, because I believe it's going to be powerful for us to just really go through and look at the what we discussed tonight. There's a song that I wrote and that I want to show you guys. I want to share with you guys tonight. Produced it already. Everything is ready. And we're going to just enjoy together. But before we do that, tell me if you find it. Did you find it?
Yes, but I cannot transfer it.
Why not?
I don't know.
There's 2 files, so you have to take one with YepHay.
No. Yeah.
Okay, put it on the screen. Yes. So now the things we discuss about it tonight, just for your own memory to remember. The super source you're using is scanning my image. Do you have another one with a double screen? If you can find it. So, but anyway, we spoke about, because remember we started this on Wednesday and we continue today. No, just use the first one. It's fine. We continue today. So we spoke about the big farmers and the fake vaccine passports, the jab, those who faked their jab passports just to have a free will like those who've been jabbed up because they knew it was not good. We spoke about the Florida Surgeon General, his statement on Pfizer versus Moderna, telling you Pfizer is the worst. And in another word, don't take these jabs anymore, please. There's some of you still consider taking this stuff. I encourage you not to do that. I missed this story. We spoke about the 10 years vaccinated versus unvaccinated child health studies. I know we did not go deep into it because I said this research is still in peer review. It's not yet published. But it's very important for you, parent, to look into the 10 years vaccinated versus unvaccinated child health studies. We spoke about terrorist press conference in Nigeria, how terrorists are just going out there and they're telling you if the government wanted us to stop, we would have stopped a long time ago. So don't look at us, look at the government. Insane as it is. We also looked at the Gold Gym locker room incidents and a follow-up on interviews on how the lady, she was banned from the gym just for standing up for all feminists will be fighting for. And then we look at the Ghanaian pastor on his way to hell with his idea, said the Holy Spirit revealed to him some idiotic ideas. I don't call them ideas, call them idiocy, received from the pit of hell. Maybe she even received it from the mummy water. So, and then we looked at about the story of Trump, a $1 billion lawsuit against the BBC and the previous $60 million settlement against the CBS. You see, we looked at the BBC Trump edit controversy and the resignation of their top high leaders, the CEO and the general director. We looked at the Eden mummy water spray and the African spiritual folklore on the mummy water. Important things for you to, if you want to look into what we discussed tonight, please take a look. And also the Dallas Imam incident as we end the show with the Christian preacher discussing how he's just threatened somebody from talking to Christian. It doesn't even make sense. What authority do you think you have? Anyway, thank you for watching us tonight, yo. Stay awake, stay hopeful, and remember, you are not crazy, despite what they're going to tell you. You ain't crazy. It doesn't matter who the heck they think they are. You are not crazy. You are just finally seeing clearly. Finally, your eyes are opening up. And before you go, remember this. The Glory Today show is more than just a news and storytelling place. It's a movement, a call to open minds, challenge lies, and build a better world in truth and hope. If you found values in tonight's show, please subscribe, share it, join our community, support us at buymeacoffee.com/glory today. Every little bit of help us keep shining light in the darkness, in the dark places. And don't forget to watch our previous episode because they are also amazing. And to stay informed and empowered, you need to check them out. Together we can transform families, communities, and cultures. My name is Glory and the Glory of Today show team. And listen, I approve this message. But before we go, as I said, I have a song I want you to hear. But I'll see you next time. Stay strong, stay faithful, stay awake. And this song It's gonna be powerful. You just play the outro without sound cutting, and I will just play this song, and I'll stay here, and I'll just be grooving with y'all. And then, yeah, I'm curious what you're gonna think about our music, man. I'm really curious. Like, oh my God, I'm so curious. I'm so curious. I'm so curious. Okay, here comes.
You came here broken, searching for a reason, wondering if hope exists in this dark season. You've been lied to, told you're not enough,
you can mute me, it's fine.
that your story doesn't matter, that the road is too rough. But tonight you heard the truth, you felt it in your soul, that you matter, that you're worthy, that you're whole, that your pain has purpose, that your voice can change the world, that your light is needed. Let it be unfurled. You're the light in the darkness, burning bright and true. The world needs what's inside you. Don't dim your flame, don't hide away. Your generation's the one that saves the day. You're the light. You're the light. We see you, we believe in you. We're standing with you.